What is going on, everybody? How are you doing? Mecca coming at you, and I'm super excited. It's Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I got my man Jacob, one of our top students for my self-publishing blueprint, and we want to talk. I had to get him. I had to say, Jacob, cancel your Saturday plans. I need you to tell people what you're doing. What are you doing that has allowed your books to bring in $450 plus a day? Because that's super exciting. And, Jacob is somebody, he started with my self-publishing blueprint. For those of you who haven't watched his other interviews on my channel, he started with us back in April. And, his income quickly went from about, I know you'll probably cover this, like it was about 300 bucks a month up to like 1,800 a month within a span of 2 or 3 months. Am I correct?
That's right.
And you just never look back. And, I was doing the math. $450 a day. It's a $13,000 a month. And, I know you haven't quite surpassed 13 grand a month yet from Kindle, but that's exciting that you're heading in that 5-figure a month direction from Kindle publishing, man. So, hey, welcome. It's good to see you again, bud.
Thank you, Mecca. Glad to be on here. Start to do my first Q&A with y'all.
Cool. Hey, so let's blow up the chat. Who's around? I see we got James, we got Anetta. We're going to be taking questions, so you can start hammering the questions in the chat. If you're watching the replay of this, we're not going to forget about you. If you're watching the replay, post your questions in the comment section, and I'll respond. Jacob, I'm sure you'll respond.
Sure.
So, but Jacob's somebody who's unlike all the other publishers. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be telling you what his books are. He doesn't hold anything back. He's just like, why? There's enough money to go around. There's enough, there's enough of all this to go around. He just wants to help others. And you posted a massive post in the Facebook group inside, our private Facebook group a couple of days ago. And it was like a massive post on just how your thought process behind finding books and finding keywords and all of that. So we'll dive into that. And I see, hey, we got our first question. I like this question here. How did the blueprint help you? So how did my self-publishing blueprint help you? I'm going to throw the link up so anyone who doesn't know what that is, they can check it out. But my man, how's the course helped you? What have you learned? How did that make a difference for you?
First and foremost, the course helped me make a lot of gosh darn money. Let me tell you that right off the top. So I started my self-publishing blueprint, your course, literally the second day it was ever released. To give you guys a brief background, I kind of fell into Kindle publishing by accident. I was webmastering my own site related to powerlifting. Figured that I could create the sales funnel with some traffic, having some ebooks on Amazon. Long story short, the earnings I was making from my ebooks was exceeding my Google AdSense income. And that's when I was like, aha, light bulb moment. Let me create some more ebooks, make some more money this way. So I experimented with that. I had some, humble beginnings. I was making up towards of $300 a month up until April. I joined your course in May. And from watching the course and following all your lessons for about the next 30 days or so, along with implementing what I learned, my income immediately shot up to $880 a month in June, which I was really ecstatic about. And then from there, I was publishing more books, and I went from $880 a month to what I believe was $1,800 in the month of July. And my income's just been growing and growing. Granted, it's gone up and down. It's a little volatile, but now I've gotten to the point where this month alone, I've been starting from making $200 a day, $250 a day, $300 a day. Yesterday I made $450 in one day off of 5 books.
5 books. So you don't even have a ton of books, man. It's just off of $5. And so that's exciting because before the course, you went from $300 a month.
I was happy with that, man. That's a car payment. Let's be real here.
Right?
Yeah.
And then yesterday, what was your total income yesterday from your from the books?
From the books, I think it amounted to, like, on CreateSpace was $451, and then I have my KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. That was like $30, but hey, I'll take it. And
so
my index was like $10, so go figure.
Okay. So like almost, so what is that? That's like around 500, like between 400 and 500 bucks, you know, a day. So going from 300 a month, to pretty much 500 a day. You know, that's really where lifestyle changes can start to happen. And we did right. You're sitting in your new condo. You got your new car outside.
Yeah.
And you know, I know you've treated yourself with some other toys for sure. You know, it is what it is. It's exciting, man. You know, do what you can. We got a question here. How many books you had that generated 880 a month? So back when you did like the 880 a month, how many books was that? Do you remember?
Yeah. So just to give some disclosure, I was starting off writing my own books. I started it with Kindle publishing with no budget whatsoever. So I literally was writing my own ebooks, mostly as content for my website. And I just took those profits that I made and reinvested it back into what became as using ghostwriters for my self-publishing. So by the time I was making $880 a month in 1 month, I only probably had 6 or 7 books. And out of those 6 or 7 books, maybe 2 or 3 were actually making money at all. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot. Just need to have one winning book.
It doesn't take a lot. And how much are you spending to get your books written now?
So I'm considered to be like the high end, I suppose, for having books written using the writing company that we solely use in your course. I pay upwards to about $300 per book, which I don't think is bad at all. I shoot for around 12,000 words on average for a book, and the writing's exceptionally good. I get organic reviews with the quality of writing that I receive from this writing company. So what I'm investing, I believe I'm getting what I pay for. So it's been very much worth it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Hey, we got a couple questions here.
Yeah, they're popping out now.
What's your so what categories do you publish in?
Okay, so I've authored myself into powerlifting. That's profitable for me because I'm writing about my niche and I have that deep insider knowledge that a ghostwriter can't really replicate. So that's profitable for me. As far as general categories that I've succeeded with self-publishing, following the principles of your course, children's books about children's toys have done well for me. Cryptocurrency, super hot right now. We've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, blockchain technology, all of that. Super hot right now. That's the bulk of what's making me money right now. Mainly the children's toys, yo-yo books, fidget spinners. Who would have thought?
Right. So those the trendy toys.
Yeah, you know, fidget spinners for sure was an easy grab. I mean,
let's talk about that because you did well with fidget spinners books.
Let me tell you guys a story about that. So following your criteria in the course on keyword selection for self-publishing. I mean, let's face it. You know, I think you say that keyword selection is about 80% of the equation with publishing and finding profitable keywords and niches. I myself, like, if you want to go high end with sales, your keyword selection is like 95% of the equation. So long as you can execute everything else you need, such as having the book cover be good copywriting, etc. So for fidget spinners, back in the summer, it was the latest toy craze. It was super hot. So I decided, hell, let's search it. And beknownst to me, it was only 1 book published on fidget spinners. It was this 25-page piece of crap that teached like I think 20 tricks you could do with fidget spinners. But I had a book paperback ranking of 1,300 in Mecca. A
wow,
ranking is like freaking $200. Like what? 200 copies a day? Something ridiculous.
Wow.
But a lot of freaking money on the table. So once I saw that, it literally took me no more than 10 minutes to get on the writing company's website and get my book published. And from there, He posted, that other guy had 25 tricks with his fidget spinners. I posted the book on 50 tricks, sold it at the same price, and wiped him out clean. And that made me my first few thousand a month easily off of one book that cost me $130 to have produced.
So how long was that book?
We can verify, but it's like 40 pages, man.
Okay. Yeah, it was a short one, man.
It was a short one.
So how quick did you make your money back with that investment?
Like 4 days.
4 days, huh?
Yeah, 4 days. It's my quickest ROI.
Yeah, no, that's quicker than me, man. I think 2 weeks, I think, is the quickest I've done. Maybe I've done.
It's good though. Like, you can't take these outliers as like the average norm.
No, totally, right? Like if your book makes
money back in 1 month, I'd be very happy with that. Let's be real.
2 months, because books, it's an asset, right? Like it's not designed. You're not creating these books to only make money for 6 months, right? You want them making money for 6 years. Yeah, you hope so, right? If your book profits within 2 months, man, then sweet. Everything after that is pure profit.
Yep.
That's the whole idea, right? Like it's. Yeah. Hey, there's some other great questions coming in. So let's check these out. And if you got any questions, nothing's off topic here. Just hit up the chat, hit up the comments if you're watching the replay on this. Jacob says he's willing to go all night long. YouTube says we've got 8 hours.
All right, 8 hours.
We'll go until my daughter starts yanking on my shirt. It says, "All right, Daddy." We've watched Little Mermaid twice today so far, so it still scares me. Okay. What do you do to maintain your sales? Kristen asks, what do you do to maintain your sales? So what are you doing? Are you doing anything? Is it just
Mecca, do I maintain sales with a passive business? Like, I thought this was passive income. What maintenance are we talking about here? I make money while I sleep, and we're going to keep it that way. I'm not in here for creating a job for myself. This is passive income. So to directly answer the question, to some very limited degree, I promote my books on AMS, or whatever that has, Amazon Marketing Services.
Yep.
That stands for. And I'll promote some books on AMS. But other than that, past the initial point of how I get my book ranked, I literally do no maintenance. I just I sit about and forget it. And believe it or not, these books make money, man. The book that's making me, like, on average, $200 a day, I produced back in August, and I haven't touched it since. It's ridiculous.
Passive income, man.
Passive income.
As passive as it really gets. That term, I think, getting thrown away, more and more, or thrown around more and more, but it's all good. Okay. Yep. Mario Robinson asks, Jacob, what individual experimenting have you done that you have found to be useful? So this is one of the key things we wanted to talk about, man. So so you're going through the course and then learning how to do the keyword research and all of that, but then you kind of took it a step further. Do you want to explain a little bit about what you're doing and how that's helped? I'm not being rude. I'm just sharing this. However I can. So I'm here, man. All right, go for it.
Okay, so in conjunction to everything I've learned from my self-publishing blueprint on how to get keywords ranked, what criteria to use, etc., which you can only really learn from working with a course such as Emeka's, I took it a step further, and I utilized Google Trends for a lot of the keywords I was successful with making a profit off of. With using Google Trends, basically, you can see like search volume all over the world for a keyword. And so you can see what's trending, what's making sales, what's hot. So for fidget spinners, I checked, on Google Trends to make sure it was still hot. And lo and behold, the traffic for off Google Trends for fidget spinners is like, it was skyrocketing back in the summer. So like, okay, there might be a demand for a book teaching tricks on this. I was right about that. Another niche I'm in is cryptocurrency, which I mentioned before. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that jazz. It's harder than ever. It's hotter than ever right now in the world. And, people need books about information on those cryptocurrencies. So, granted, it's a little bit more saturated to get into that now. But I was early on into that, especially with Ethereum, and I made a few $1,000s off of not so much the paperback, but the ebooks. I've sold like over 1,000 Kindle copies on Ethereum, much in large due to the Google Trends research I've done. That's how I choose my books for getting published.
Now, some people, I know I've kind of talked about this before in some videos, and they're like, but Google Trends doesn't necessarily talk about what's going to be profitable on Amazon. How did you figure out the two are related?
Emeka, I used your course. Like, you still got to follow the principles of the course. That doesn't change. Like, finding the keywords, you know, you have to like see what's already ranking, you know, that's proven. But as I'm saying, with something that's an upcoming trend, for some reason, self-publishers aren't like, unless like they're really dedicated towards a niche, they are late to the mark and they'll only get into a keyword after the fact that there's profitable books in it.
Right.
But if you show up early, relatively early on, you can get the first mover advantage and make a lot of money for yourself, which is what I've done, and it's worked.
That's awesome. That's so true, right? It's about thinking outside of the box.
Yes, be creative.
Right? Being creative, being a business owner, not just waiting for everyone to figure out what's going to be hot or not.
Yeah.
It's taking a bit of a gamble, because let's talk about this. Have you lost money on any books, or have you had some books that you thought were going to take off, but just they crashed and burned for whatever?
Of course I have. I mean, I think everyone has had a couple duds. I'd say honestly, half my books have not broken even, which sounds like crap, but who's making the most money daily? You know, the one who took the biggest risks, the one who took the most chances. All you need are a few winning books to not only offset your losses, but win big time. You have to take chances.
That's awesome. Miles, man, thank you so much. I appreciate that shout out. And that's cool, man, Jacob. That's I love when people push the envelope. I love when people are taking the concept. I've talked about this, right? You take the structure of the blueprint, but then you're like, wait a minute, let me test out, because this is exactly what I did when I started publishing, and that's how I broke away and realized what I was doing. I was like, wait a minute, I was spending all this time here, but I'm like, well, what if I try it this way? And then all of a sudden my results just shot up, and I never looked back. So courses are great to lay a foundation, but don't live and die by what that person says. You know what I mean? Like,
after you, I would say to anyone, to make your first $1,000, just follow what the course says. Don't ask questions, but just don't deviate too much from what you're teaching. I always say that to the newer students, or I have said that. Follow the course, it works. And stick to that. Once you, let's say, make your first 1,000, 2,000 a month, play around, tinker a little, get some ideas on how to be creative with your keyword research and niche selection, and take it from there. See what happens.
Right. It's awesome. Hey, if you're still, if those of you, on, I see there's more people joining. Go ahead, put any Kindle publishing questions you got on for my man Jacob, making $450 plus a day right now, with 5 books. And yeah, I know it's exciting. So let's go to the next question. Okay. So which writing company did he say he used? He doesn't say. It's inside my self-publishing blueprint. It's one that we have exclusively for students of the course. The only reason we don't talk about it publicly is then everybody would start using them because they're awesome. and then that would delay our books.
And part of the large part of the reason, honest to gosh, one of the main reasons why I joined your course was to figure out what writing company you're using. I mean, like, you got to work with good writers and know who to work with in order to succeed with this business, I believe, in the long term. And not only that, you give this sweet discount to all the members with the writing company that we use. So I think I've made my money back just with a discount that you've allowed us to share.
It's funny, man. Some of the programs inside the course, I take a hit on my affiliate discount in order to give the students a bigger discount on it.
Wow.
One of them was, I think the latest one was our Gutenberg Reloaded, George's company.
Yeah.
And we're negotiating the rates. And I'm like, why don't you pay me less and give my students the bigger discount? Because that's what's important to me.
And it'll get you repeat business. I mean, you've made a good portion of affiliate sales from the writing company through me, man.
And I don't need to nickel and dime.
It's me, man.
I need to take care of them. I need to help them. I need to get them to the level that I'm at. That's all I care about.
Hey, in order for you to make money, I need to make money. So that's how it works. It's
bingo, man.
What goes around comes around.
All right, let's go to that next question. Are you using a VA? How do you get your keywords? Are you doing all the researching yourself, or are you outsourcing that?
I do all of my keyword research. I don't outsource any research whatsoever. I don't even use Kindle Spy for criteria assessment of keywords. I just kind of eyeball it on my internet browser. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm stubborn. I just don't believe in third-party tools. But like I want to be more analytical and use my own criteria for assessing keywords. So I don't use a VA for that. I do use a VA for review swaps. I think we all do. I mean, to a very limited extent, but that's about it. Aside from also having my book covers done. I mean, that counts as using a VA.
No, that counts as just hiring somebody else to do something.
Hiring a freelancer for that, yeah.
Right? I say using a VA is taking care of something that you don't want to do.
I don't want to do a lot of stuff on that because this is passive income.
Right? So, okay. Okay, do you use video marketing?
Zero. Never even tried it. Don't know anything about marketing.
I think video marketing for books only really works if you're promoting the book yourself. Like, I come out with a book and I'm promoting it on my channel and stuff. I don't think it would work so well if you're doing like for pen names, etc.
I think any form of marketing can really work to your advantage if you have a larger audience. So if you were to use video marketing for your subscriber base of 2,000 people now, I think you'd see a few conversions, but we're starting out with like no following whatsoever. Video marketing, probably not the most effective thing to do, in my opinion.
All right. Do you have knowledge? Do you have to have knowledge in the area that you write?
In the books that I've written, I have expert level knowledge in how you have an elite classification. Been doing it for 8 years, yada yada. For books that I've published but have not written myself, prior to like getting into it, I had zero knowledge on Ethereum, zero knowledge of Bitcoin. I have never owned a fidget spinner. I have never yo-yo. Yeah, you don't have to. All I know is I want to make some damn money. All I care about.
I think that's so true, and you can make money on topics that you have no knowledge on. The whole Kindle publishing thing was built around that basis. I think though, like if you want to make substantial long-term profits and like kind of build a business, you have to have some sort of interest in it. One of my niches, the amount of effort that I've put into it, like building out a Shopify store for it and doing the social media promotion, I could only do that because I really enjoy the niche. Mm-hmm. I could not do that around fidget spinners. Just like it just, I thought they were the dumbest toy in the world.
They are.
Unless they were making you money, then I thought they were a freaking genius idea. But so you can do it both ways. But if you're looking to get started with Kindle publishing, do you have to have any knowledge on the topics you're going to make? No, I don't think so. Eventually, you're probably going to want to start publishing around something that you're interested in to build a bigger brand, if that's the case you want to go. But you can start publishing any day, sweetie. So yeah. All right. Can't wait to start the blueprint. Awesome. Do you have a coach, Jacob?
No, I don't. I don't have a coach at Mecca Osai from my self-publishing blueprint. This is my coach guy right here. Check this shit out. Right here. V1 and Mecca Osai.
Coming soon. Coming soon. All right. Miles asks, what's the process like working with the writing team company you reveal inside the course? What input is required? How much of your time is required? So what you want to go through that? Like what do you when you order a book, how much info are you giving them? What type of instructions are you giving them, and so forth? And then how long does it take for them to complete it?
Sure. So with the way I do it, like with a more complicated book, like let's say Bitcoin, suck on Bitcoin, I will actually go through the effort and work of like writing a rough table of contents, outlining what each chapter should be about. I mean, for me to market a book effectively, I want to have effective like outcomes that a reader could have. So like how to earn money through Bitcoin, how to make sick profits. So that's got to be written within the book in order for it to succeed. So I'll write chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 should be about this, yada yada. So I give a general outline. Simpler books like the fidget spinner books that would be about 50 tricks. All I wrote was write me 50 tricks. Keep the vocabulary relatively simple. That was it.
So that's it. So it really depends on how complicated the topic is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know that when I'm ordering a book, what I've done for some is I'll actually look at the competitors' books, the top competitors' book, like the top 10 or 20, and then I'll read the negative reviews, and I'll try to find patterns. I'll try to find things that people wish was inside the book. And those are just ideas that I'll be like, all right, so make sure you talk about this, you talk about this. So then that way your book can kind of stand out and cover the whole, so to speak, of the other books that are on the market.
And that's what happens over time with competition at Mecca. I was the #1 seller for fidget spinner books for a few months, and I was making $1,000, about $1,500 a month off that. But hey, guess what? Competition paid attention to my book. They saw some of the negative reviews stating that no pictures. So now the top ranked books on fidget spinners doing well are the ones with pictures. So
really, huh?
It evolves, man. Like that's how it goes. And that's what works best for consumers. You need to have competition so that consumers get the best end product, or else they get stuck with a product that might be subpar, not to the quality it could be. So I think that's very fair.
You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. In terms of how much time it is required, I'd say the researching your competitors, maybe half an hour. Like it doesn't take too much time. And then I think our writing company, they'll do I've never looked at their quickest package, but I know their top package is like 3 weeks turnaround.
That's what they get my books done within 1 week to like 15 days if it's busy.
Okay, cool. So a bit quicker. So
super quick.
Cool. All right. Do you recommend hiring someone to do keyword research? What are your thoughts on that, man?
You can if you want to. I mean, you can try it out. I never have, so maybe I'm not the best advocate for it. But I would say if you're starting out, learn how to do it yourself before you outsource something. Generally speaking, unless we're talking about like Photoshop or something very technical requiring a very set skill set, learn how to do this stuff yourself before you delegate it out. So learn how to do your own keyword research if you want to be successful in the long term. You really have to be. I mean, how can you train your VA to find profitable keywords if you don't know what a profitable keyword is?
I'd say if you're looking to outsource hiring somebody to do your Kindle publishing or your keyword research, just put them through the course and just you collect money, right? Like don't do anything. I think the keyword research, right? Because it's 80% of your success. You can screw up a lot of things with you could essentially screw up you could get a bad cover. You could mess up reviews. You could, but if you get a hot keyword like yours, you're going to make money.
Hey man.
But if you screw that up, you could have the best cover, you could have the best reviews, all this could work. But if you've messed up your keyword research, nobody's going to find your book. So I would say do the keyword research yourself. What were we going to add on there?
My yo-yo book, just to give you guys a very specific example, I bought my cover for $5 on Fiverr. Again, it's a book that has like maybe 7,000 words. It's not that impressive. And it's got some average copywriting that I did for the description. But all that it took for me to make money was I found the magical keyword that people were looking for. And that's how I make my money. I don't have the best of anything. I just did good enough.
That's awesome, man. All right. Milk Carton asks hot keywords. What are your hot keywords, man?
Other than the ones I've mentioned,
he probably missed them.
I've given away quite a few. But like, if going forward, if any of you have the guts to actually try using the keywords I suggest, which I've been doing for the past few months, cryptocurrencies are still really hot. Everyone knows about Bitcoin, Ethereum, yada yada. But what about the altcoins, guys? Ripple, IOTA, like EOS. There's no books on that, guys. Get on it, or else I will. I'm gonna make all the damn money, and you'll miss out. Right. So hop on it.
It's such a simple process, right? When you understand.
I mean, the money's waiting out there for you to take it, guys.
Right.
Be afraid. Get out there.
That's probably what holds back most publishers, right? They spend too much time figuring out keyword research, and they're looking for the perfect storm, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Somebody asked, do you write with a pen name? I think we covered that. Yes, for most of it. No, for your weightlifting or your powerlifting books.
Right. For the books that I've authored myself, I use my real name. That's my own personal brand. So I'd like to keep it that way. For all of the books, I use several pen names, depending on the niche, etc.
Are you hiring a VA to write your book descriptions, or are you doing that yourself?
I do it myself. For books, it takes like maybe 15 to 30 minutes to write a book description. Again, that's part of the whole deal with getting a book to sell. Don't write about what your book is, what the contents are. Write about outcomes and benefits that your customer can receive.
Sell the book. Sell the book.
Sell the book. This book is going to change your freaking life, guys. Check this out. Make your first $1,000 through a Mecco site. Now, if the book's not available right now, go in the course. It will change your life. That's an outcome right there. That's how you sell something.
Right. Yeah.
We won't talk about the contents of the book. Let's talk about what it's going to do for you immediately.
Because that's what people want when they're reading a book description. They don't like, essentially the contents don't matter. It's what are you going to get from reading this book? That's what people want from a book description.
Yep.
Okay, what advice do you have for somebody who's never published before? So somebody like just starting off, getting into self-publishing, maybe they haven't even got a course yet. Could you walk them through what to expect, what advice you could give them?
I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, but so many newbies are very apprehensive towards starting at all. I'd say, even if you have only $100, $200 to spare, just get started. I mean, work with a freelance company on getting your first book written. If you don't have the money, like I suppose I didn't when I started, write your first couple of books yourself. Start accumulating money that way. And, if you really want to speed up your results, I mean, I am promoting Mecca's course here, but it's so true. You can shortcut so many things just by buying my self-publishing blueprint and doing everything right from the get-go. Save yourself a lot of time, a lot of headaches, and a lot of wasting of money by doing things correct the first time around. So for you guys hearing me, I'm a real person. I'm a real testimonial. Like, the course worked for me, and so it can definitely work for you.
Let's talk about paperbacks. What did you do differently that you kind of figured out with paperbacks? Because I know you posted this inside the Facebook group, and when I was reading it, I'm like, Jacob, that's genius. We need I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn that into a lesson. Like, I'm gonna start looking into that more. So let's give people some freebies here.
Oh man, this is the secret that I've been keeping to myself since starting your course. I mean, yes, I was definitely using all of your criteria for keyword assessment, but like I kind of flipped it around. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the book rankings of the Kindle ebooks, but if I'm going to make more commission off the paperbacks, why aren't I weighing most of my assessments rankings? So that's what I did. For myself, I try to choose keywords that are within a bestsellers ranking of 30,000 or less. on paperbacks, that equates to about maybe, gosh, 1 or 2 books sold a day. I mean, if you do the math, you make $7 per copy on a book, 2 books a day. You're making $40 a day times 30. I mean, you're making over $300 a month, which is really, really freaking good.
A $300 book is great.
Yes. I mean, what you should shoot for is making $100 a month off a book. If you can sustain making $100 a month off a book in 6 months out from publishing it, you're in really good shape. But yeah, you want books that are, you want to choose keywords that are clear winners in terms of their income generation. Like I myself, I try to take it a level higher. I look for books that may have a bestseller ranking of 10,000 or less, which is, those books make a lot of money. So that's what I shoot for. And it's working. It's definitely working, man.
That's awesome, man. No, I've had a couple of books that have dropped down to the what's the lowest I've done? Like, I don't think I've ever hit triple digits, but they've been out in the quadruples.
That's good enough. That's
it's
awesome.
freaking. It's like
it's magical.
Yeah, it's like literally you can refresh your page and you can see your income going up.
That's what I've been doing with my yo-yo book now.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
And the number actually changes when I hit F5. So.
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, any other last pieces of advice here? If you have some more questions, please go ahead and drop them in the comments. Drop them in the live chat. Jacob making $450 plus a day right now. My daughter cannot believe it. Should Jacob get you some Christmas presents?
Oh.
So
I'm down.
Okay, so we got a question here. Mac, in the blueprint, do you have any secret for illustrators for children's books? So did you have used any pictures in any of your books?
No, no, I haven't. So I can't really say any useful advice for that. Starting out, I would say in general, guys, let's keep it simple. Let's not try to save the whales here with our books starting out. Let's just work with words. Let's stick to writing a 10,000 word book, and let's just use a profitable keyword that we've researched and leave it at that. Don't get things too complicated starting out. I see that starting as simple as possible and then get it complicated.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We're good. Okay, so the what I've done, because I did some kids books and I did some illustrations in them. Mm-hmm. I actually had I used a freelance writer because most writing companies won't touch them. I used a freelance writer and I required them to put in the pictures. Now I'm just difficult like that, you know, when you work for me. I just require the best from you. It's like, no, I'm not going to find an illustrator. You need to do it all. I need you to be the full package. So I had my writer, and they did the illustration or the pictures. They weren't illustrations; they were pictures, and they added them in there with everything else and everything. It was definitely it was more work, and this was a series, and I think we only ended up like I went through 2 writers, and I went through 2 writers, and I haven't even got the series finished, unfortunately. And I've had emails from people asking, like grandparents saying, my grandkids love your book. When's the next one coming? And I've had to tell them, I don't know. So I think illustrations and pictures, they complicate things for sure. But yeah, keep it simple when you're new. Is it time for Daddy to go? I think it's time for Daddy to go. Say hello.
Hey, hi.
All right, Jacob, man, thank you so much for taking some time with us and chatting. Please don't pull on Daddy's headphones. Taking some time and chatting, man. The advice that you give the students inside the group, and now you're opening up that advice to everybody here on the channel. you know, I can't thank you enough for the difference you're doing, man. Yeah, man, you're live on the internet. Anything goes right now, as you can tell. So
right.
Cool, man. All right, thank you so much. I see you posted your Instagram there, so people can follow you and connect with you there if you'd like. And then, of course, they can always just get the blueprint to connect with you inside the Facebook group.
Guys, I don't answer PMs or DMs. I get asked literally 5 questions a day. Don't have the time. If you want a question answered, I'll only answer it in my self-publishing blueprint. That's the deal.
That's awesome, man. That's all. I don't tell them to do this. This is just
it's
all good. Awesome, man. Hey, thank you so much, Jacob.
Right on.
Speak to you all soon.
Thank you, Emeka.